In this heated conversation, Charlie Kirk debates a young woman on sensitive topics like the role of Christianity in shaping laws, Buddhist ethics, and abortion rights. They discuss historical actions taken in the name of religion, personal moral beliefs, and the challenges of creating laws that reflect a diverse society. Through personal stories, ethical dilemmas, and tough questions, this dialogue explores morality, identity, and how we decide what's right in today's world. So, let's dive in.
I don't believe that we could use Christianity as a good moral basis for certain laws, considering that historically speaking, Christianity has committed many atrocities. I mean, the Christian Crusades killed many people, and they destroyed a lot of our written texts that didn't agree with Christian points, like, for example, the works of Sappho.
The works of what?
Sappho.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, anyways, I understand that this is Catholicism, but also the schools in Canada that abused many Native American people. I just don't see how we could argue that Christianity is the great moral authority that you're saying it is for making these laws when arguably they've done a lot of horrible things.
What moral code do you live by?
I'm a Buddhist, so I mean...
So it's all about yourself?
No, it's just about being... Well, I guess you could say that. But
I know Buddhism. So let's play it out. What is the top accomplishment of a Buddhist?
I guess just to be a good person and...
No, to reach nirvana, you know that.
Well, yes, but not everyone can reach nirvana.
I know, but you want to try to ascend, right? And so it's all about yourself, all inward looking, right? To try to limit your touch with the outside world, that the outside world is dirty and it's kind of polluted.
I don't believe as a Buddhist, that's not how I was taught, and I don't think it's fair for you to argue for Buddhism in that sense because
that's
you're
what
not
Buddhism.
a Buddhist.
No, I know plenty about Buddhism. So Buddhism, as it's written, is that the world is contaminated. We must remove ourselves from the world, and we're going to spiritually ascend ourselves by meditation.
But there's people who don't believe in that.
Well, then you don't believe in Buddhism. That's fine. It's okay.
Of Buddhism, and they believe in all different kinds of things.
So
just
that's
as
fine.
There's different sects of Christianity. I'm just not in that sect.
Got it. So can you what moral way do you think society should live by? Not Christianity. So what way should we live by?
I think that it's not as much about morality as much as societal, and it's just societal needs. Like, for example, like abortion. We can't argue that, Christianity is the reason that we should not allow abortions when clearly there's both a medical and a societal need for abortions.
There's not a medical reason to kill babies, right? So that doesn't exist.
Okay, well, I have one example for that. My mother had vasoprevia, and they had offered her an abortion because birthing the baby would not only kill her, like if she went into labor, because the placenta had split into many little veins and covered her birth canal, if she ever went into labor, and my little brother at the time, if he had pushed on the birth canal to exit her, she would have died. Both her and her son would have died.
Did your brother survive or no?
I want to continue with this point. So she was offered the opportunity for an abortion because not only was she the main breadwinner of her family, but she is also raising 2 kids as well already. The right to an abortion possibly could have saved her life. She did end up surviving, but not. I don't think that we should limit the ability to get an abortion to other women in her situation.
Wait, hold on, time out. So your brother now?
Huh?
Is your brother survive or no?
Yes, he did.
Wait, so aren't you glad your brother wasn't aborted? I mean, come on.
I don't...
What kind of argument is that? Aren't you glad your brother's not dead?
It's not that... I'm glad that he wasn't aborted.
Yes, so we're pro-life. That's what we want. We don't want your brother to be aborted. Imagine how many millions other like him are aborted.
Yes, but if my mom died...
She didn't. It's not even a good argument.
Well, there's so many people that did.
No,
There's
that's
like
not correct. I said that earlier. It only happens a couple dozen times a year, and the baby could be delivered by C-section.
People with vasoprevia have a much higher rate of death than other women
Yes,
who are
this
pregnant.
happens maybe a couple hundred times a year, and there's 1.5 million abortions every single year. This is on the extreme of the extreme.
If we have to take away abortions, then we're taking away from everybody, even the people who have a medical need for abortion, where the baby is going to kill them if they come out.
Again, I can grant you that, fine, we'll have those exceptions. Can we make abortion illegal for the other circumstances?
No, because
so maybe it's not about those circumstances.
No,
You're
it
just
is about
using
those,
it.
It is
really?
about those circumstances, because when we take away those rights from everyone and we go into a hospital and there's an emergency need to remove a baby, then we have to prove that there's an actual emergency need instead of just it being an automatic right. Then doctors aren't going to be
You don't have a right
willing
to murder another human being.
It's not necessarily a right. It's just the ability to be
So when your brother was in your mom's womb, was your brother a human being?
I mean, I don't want to argue that. I think that we could argue about that
it's not an
for
argument,
a
it's a
long
question.
time.
When your brother was
it's useful.
When your brother was in the womb, was it a human being?
I believe that on my moral compass, I believe that he was, but I don't think that my moral compass should dictate the medical needs and the societal needs of others.
Fine. What moral compass should we use to write laws then?
Not necessarily a single one. I think that everyone's moral compass is different, and that we should be able to.
Which one should say? For example,
the one that supports women the most, the one that allows women to get medical.
Why is that? Why is that good? I mean, by what book do you reference? By some moral standard you're appealing to. What is it?
Sorry, what?
No, yeah. By what moral standard do you say that we should have health care for women? Why? What? At some point, you're basing this on something. What is it?
I think that it's not even a moral standard. It's in the Constitution. Women should have equal rights, and that includes the right to.
You do not have a right to murder another, because life is the first right. We've been through that, but I'm saying, but at some point, you say you don't want Christianity to have the moral source. So I ask you, by what moral code should we live by?
Well, I don't think there's a defining moral code that we should live by.
Of course there is. Should we help the sick?
Well, yes,
should we help the poor?
Okay, but my
should
moral
we
code
feed the
as
hungry?
a Buddhist is that I should never kill an animal. And many Christians hunt. Many people, kill animals for a living. That's how they make a living.
I'm not talking about your personal. Society has to make decisions, right?
Yeah, and when society makes decisions, they should account for the fact that everyone has a different moral compass. If we're a society that, first of all, a modern society, we shouldn't be basing our moral compass off of a book made thousands of years ago.
Well, first of all, Buddhism's very old too, but contradicting.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
that's why I don't think Buddhism. I don't think we should ban people going out to hunt because I don't believe in killing animals.
At some point, we have to decide what laws to make. We have to say something.
And I think the laws should be dependent on
what?
How we can most benefit the people already existing in our society.
But but don't people in the womb exist?
That's you could argue that for so long. I don't think it's really useful when we're talking about.
Are you glad you weren't aborted? Are you glad you weren't aborted?
I'm not. I mean, if it was something that if aborting me would have benefited my mother far more than having me would have, then I wouldn't be necessarily angry about it. It's not.
See, I'm glad your mom did not abort you, because I think life is beautiful. And I want to give that gift to as many people as possible.
Yeah, but you're also, in the same turn, taking that gift away from women. If a woman has a medical need and her life is in danger,
I've already granted. Let's say
baby.
abortion is legal for medical circumstances. 1.4 million.
But then when we get rid of abortion for those exceptions, right, we need to think about how it is applied in the actual.
Abortion is the #1 form of birth control in the country right now. Over 1.4 million abortions every single year for non-rape, non-incest, non-life of the mother.
It's really the #1 form of birth control in this country.
Well, that we know of.
Highly doubt
actually,
that.
if you think
I'm
about
sorry,
it, if you think
crazy.
about the day after pill.
That's crazy.
Right? If you think about the day after pill.
People are spending $50 for a abortion instead of the pull-out method, getting a condom. You really think? I'm sorry. In your twisted worldview, you really think the #1 form of birth control is abortion?
Plan B.
I'm sorry. That's crazy.
No, Plan B. Right? Abortifacients, at-home abortions, chemical abortions, surgical abortions. All of those can be defined as abortifacients. Yes, you might be right. Okay, you might say condoms are more than that. But abortion has become a form of birth control. Can you agree with that?
I mean, anything that, well, all of it, obviously, anything can be considered birth control. I mean, me deciding to not have sex is birth control. I mean,
And that's what more people should do.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know, because I don't think that that's necessarily something that we can police. Like, what, you're going to go into people's
I'm
bedrooms?
not policing,
and,
but I'm saying, though, if you're going to decide to have sex, don't kill the baby after you have sex. Pretty
Well,
simple.
I don't
Because you
think
made a
that-
decision to get pregnant.
I don't think that that's necessarily a good argument. I mean, there's more nuance to that.
There's no nuance to it. A human life exists. I can't murder someone in the crowd. Why? Because murder is wrong. You can't murder someone in a womb. Why? Because murder is wrong. Thank you for your time.